I may be known for my ice, but now I'm gonna be known for calling the police. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I am Raphael and I'm here to review episode 10 of the Real Bubble Baths of Salt Lake City. So we start the episode off right where we left off with Jen getting that infamous phone call, which I'm assuming it was her husband, warning her that the police and Homeland Security were on their way to Beauty Lab to go get her. So she had to get in the truck and now she's on her way to Mexico and she's on the run. And the rest of the women are on the bus and they're all confused. They're like, wait, what just happened to Jen? Is this the prank? What's going on? What's going on? Somebody please fill us in. And Heather's like, I think I'm gonna call Jen. Should I call Jen right now? And then Lisa's like, no, I really don't think you should do that right now. And Heather, if I was you, I would just throw my phone right out the window. The iPhone 13 just came out recently, so I'm pretty sure you could just get that new phone, and I'm pretty sure it has a new feature, a new camera, a new something, just get rid of all the evidence. And then Lisa, of course, she makes it about herself, and she's like, oh my God, I cannot right now, I'm gonna call my husband right now. I'm gonna call him right now. Hello, John. John, you cannot believe what just happened. She's missing. I'm not sure what just happened. The police just pulled up right now, John. I'm just so scared right now, John. I don't understand. I'm craving Taco Bell. I don't know what's going. Wait, hold on, cameraman. Hold on, John. Cameraman, do you have the camera on my tequila? I'm promoting it right now. Put the camera on over here. Right here, Vita, right here. Get all the letters, okay? But anyways, yes, I'm craving Taco Bell right now. I'm so scared. How is Baby Gorgeous doing right now? Because I'm just so scared. And as everybody's trying to get an understanding of what's going on, Heather and Whitney are the most concerned in the group because Jenny, she's just sitting there like, well, I mean, my husband has made me cry 3 episodes now about the sister wife storyline. So Jen, I'm not really concerned about her. So Jenny gets up, she proceeds to get Jen's stuff and she goes through it to look for snacks. And Heather's like, seriously, Jenny, you're gonna go through her snacks right now? We're talking about a huge topic right now. Don't you want to secure your snowflake for next season? And Jenny's like, no, I got an email from Andy earlier this morning that I'm probably not gonna come back. And he already cut all of my scenes and I'm only gonna be showing like 30 seconds at most per episode. So I'm just gonna go through the snacks. And then Lisa's like, ooh, I want some snacks too. Is there any Wendy's flavored snacks? And then Lisa pulls out the Lifesavers, but it wasn't the regular Lifesaver candy. It was the minty white ones. I'm like, ew, Jen, that's what you bring on a road trip? You bring the minty white flavored Lifesavers? Those are personally gross. They taste like medicine. I like the gummy rainbow ones, but to each his own. So then as Jenny continues getting snacks, Heather's just like, wow, I can't believe you, Jenny. Seriously, you're going through her snack right now? And then Jenny pulls out a bag of lollipops, and then Heather, she stops mid-sentence and she's like, actually, can I have one? I'm like, wow, Heather. Okay, so that's all it took for you to fold a bag of lollipops. And then we head over to Meredith, and something that this episode had was timestamps. So all throughout the episode, we kept seeing what time it was and what location it was. So by this point, where Meredith was visiting the vacational home place where they're all staying at for the trip, it was about 10 o'clock in the morning. So Meredith, I don't think she had any clue of what was going on, or at least she was pretending to. Because half the time I'm like, Meredith, are you there? She shows up to this place that they're staying at, like I said, and the place is beautiful. The house is so nice. I'm like, damn, it has so many rooms. I love everything how it looks. It looks really, really pretty. And then she's met with 2 other women that they're there to show her the house and maybe try out for season 3. I'm not, I know how this show works. I'm pretty sure that they're just testing random women. Like, yeah, you go in there and pretend to show her the house, but really try to start some mess between them. And Meredith, she's just so fascinated about the house, and she's just like, I really like this house. It's just it's very beautiful. It's very nice. And I don't know what the squatter rules are, but I can see myself staying here a little longer. It's really pretty and it's really nice, and I'm really excited to be vacationing here. And then as the 2 women that are showing her around the house, they secretly were trying to get Meredith to petition for her role in the Real Housewives of Potomac because they gave her a flute of champagne. And she's like, here you go. Just hold this for a second. We want to see how it would look with you in the intro with the rest of the women. I'm like, are we trying to do a crossover here, Andy? Because they're probably trying to get Meredith to go over to Potomac. And she's like, oh, cheers. I'm like, okay, I mean, I guess whatever we can do to get the crossover. But again, like I said, the house was nice and it was beautiful. And then we head back over inside the van, and at this point it's 11 o'clock in the morning, and this episode could not have played out any better with the timing because all the women are secluded to being inside this van for a couple of hours, and all they can talk about and think about is what happened to Jen, what is going on? What is the truth? And they're all trying to figure out, wait, what does Jen do for a job again? How does she get her income? How does she get her money? And Heather's like, I had her on my podcast for like an hour and I still don't know. And then Whitney's like, well, I think her business is in New York and that's why the NYPD was here. She uses other people's names and last names for something in New York, but I'm not really sure. So even through Whitney's explanation, I still didn't understand what exactly does Jen do. And I'm surprised I never really questioned that, to be honest. Maybe because it's all her fashions and her fur jackets that I get blinded by it. I'm like, oh, okay, I just assume that you have money, but I never really question where does they come from. And then Lisa gets a phone call and it's her husband and she's like, hey, John. Hi, John. Yeah, no, I still don't know what just happened, but I just talked to the lawyers and they said to not say anything unless they're present. But I think just between me and you, Meredith did it. I think it was her. It was all her. I think she must know something. She must be in on something. No wonder she's always trying to look like me. She wants me to go down with her and Jen. It's not gonna happen. No, yeah, it was all Meredith. It was all Meredith. But just keep it between me and you. I'm telling you this in secrecy. Lisa's talking to her husband as if we can't hear her conversation, as if there's not 10 cameras surrounding her filming the entire conversation. So Lisa, even if you do put your hand over your mouth, we can still hear you. And I love that she was like, there was only 7 people who knew that we were on this trip. So this is very suspicious of what's going on. And I'm like, 7 people where? Just the cast? Or I mean, there's the film crew, there's the production team, there's Andy, there's a bunch of people, you know, and we break the fourth wall that knew about where you were and where you were going. And then everybody's trying to figure out, is there a rat in the group? I mean, did somebody tell the police where Jen was heading? And, you know, I'm glad that I think it was Whitney that was just like, no, they don't really have to do that. Or they don't really have to speculate anybody in the group of throwing somebody underneath the bus because they're the police. They can figure out where you're at by themselves. And, you know, it's fun to speculate that it was Meredith and Brooks that called the police, but realistically, the police could do that by themselves. You know, Homeland Security, they can do that by themselves too. I'm pretty sure that they were tracking Jen for a very, very long time. And it just so happened to happen on camera now that they caught her. So I don't think that it was necessarily anybody in the group, even though it's fun to speculate. But I don't know, just judging by Meredith and how she was acting throughout this episode, I wouldn't be surprised if she did have just at least like 2% of involvement in this case. And then the van comes to a stop and everybody gets out for a bathroom break. But Whitney and Heather stay on the bus for a couple of seconds. And Whitney's like, don't you think that it's suspicious that Lisa is acting guilty? I mean, she was on the phone with her lawyers earlier and she was acting very guilty, Heather. I think it's very suspicious. And Heather's like, do you think that she has anything to do with it? I mean, I don't know. She's acting very funny. And then they flash back to Lisa calling all 6 of her lawyers. And Lisa loves throwing her money around because she's like, I have 6 lawyers on payroll right now. So I'm going to talk to all of them right now. It's just so nerve-wracking right now because I literally cannot trust anybody right now. So please hide all of my Taco Bell and Wendy's coupons before I get home because I do not trust nobody. Okay, thank you. Yeah, no, just keep it safe, okay? Thanks. But are you sure that none of this will get pinned on me? Like, are you sure? Because me and Meredith do look alike. And if Meredith says that she did something, people are probably going to assume it was me. Okay, yeah, I won't say anything either. Thank you. No, thank you for the advice. I got it. Yeah, and make sure that you do a background check on Jenny because I barely know the woman. I mean, Andy told me to introduce her to the cast as a long time friend, but I really don't know her. Like, if we're being honest, I barely know the woman. So just make sure that she doesn't have anything on her because nothing is being pinned on me. Yeah, thank you for the advice. I got you. I'm gonna call you later, okay? And make sure that you do a background check on Beauty Lab because who names their business Beauty Lab? What are you, a scientist? It just sounds so stupid. So just make sure that you do that too, okay? And her name is Heather Gay. Yeah, thanks. Okay, call me back. So then everybody gets back on the bus and they continue traveling to their destination. And then they're all wondering, is Jen gonna show up on the trip? They're hoping that she does. And then all of a sudden, Andy sends the article to Whitney. And then Whitney, she gets a notification. She's like, oh wait, hold on. Andy texted me. I think it's about next season. Oh wait, no, it's a... Oh, Salt Lake City Housewives wanted because she is scamming a bunch of people for money and using it to buy fur coats and fur hats and expensive shoes and jewelry and her house. Oh wait, no, I added that last part. Oh my God, guys, did you hear that last part? Oh my God, I got the fucking chills. I got the fucking chills, guys. Oh my God. And then everybody's reaction after that was priceless because we got different reactions from everybody on the bus. First, we had Lisa. Whitney, stop. Read the article again. Wait, no, send it to me. Send it to me now. Like, do you have my number? I don't have your number saved, but your name is Whitney, right? Send it to me. I cannot believe it right now. And then we have Heather. I can't believe this. No. Oh my God, not Jen. Stop. No, my daughter's going off to college. No, I can't believe this. Not Jen. No, you're lying to me, Whitney. Not Jen. Then we have Jenny. Oh my God. I can't believe Jen. Does anybody want a beer? Oh, no? Okay. No, continue crying. Not Jen. Not Jen, please. Everybody's trying to piece together this article that Whitney just read to them, and Jenny's like, wait, can you send me that? I'm not in the group chat because I wasn't on the first season, so can you just add me in the group chat? Yeah, my name is Jenny with a J, E-N-N-I-E. Yeah, just add me in the article whenever and just send it to me. I want to read it too. And Jenny seems so pissed in her confessional. She was just like, I don't get why everybody's freaking out. I mean, it's not like Jen is in the courtroom saying that she's guilty or not guilty. And I'm like, Jenny, can you just go along with the dramatics, please, and just shh. And then Whitney, I'm like, Whitney, let me find out that you're not as dumb as you pretend to be, because she explained the entire scenario out perfectly as if she was in cahoots with Jen, because she was like, yeah, Jenny, so everything starts with A, B, and C, and we work our way down to C, D, and F, and Jen was over here, and she was scamming here, and then this is what you do to take other people's money. You use the last name here, and then you add this to the mechanism, and then 2 + 2 = pi, and then this equals 4, and then over here, that's how you come up with the conclusion. That was what Jen was doing. And then Jenny's like, well, it's very interesting that Whitney knew a lot of what Jen was doing, and she broke it down so perfectly. And I'm like, Whitney, like, do you have some background knowledge in this? Because she broke everything down for somebody who didn't know what Jen was up to. She knew every single pinpoint of what she was doing down to the T. They're trying to figure out if that's the reason why Jen fled the scene at Beauty Lab, because she knew that the police were on their way over to arrest her. And Jenny's like, well, I mean, they can't really search for her unless they have a warrant. So they must have had a warrant, and I wonder if they searched the house. And then they flash over to Jen's house, and the police is there along with the Homeland Security. They're all knocking on the door. They have these huge guns with them, and I'm like, is that all really necessary? I mean, I'm not sure how exactly you deal with money scams or those type of crimes, but do you really have to show up to somebody's house with that huge bazooka? And they're knocking on the door, and I'm not sure who was it that they told to come out. I think it was two people that came out, and I'm not sure if one of them was Jen's son, but they told them to raise their hands, and the whole scene was just very, very intense to watch. I'm like, wow. I mean, Jen, she's somewhere on somebody's highway, driving down to Mexico to change her identity, and meanwhile, her whole house is being ransacked and searched and everything. It was just a really, really intense scene. I'm like, wow. I mean, again, just imagine if Jen was at the house, or if she managed to stay at Beauty Lab just a couple minutes longer. I mean, imagine if we would have actually seen her get handcuffed on the spot on camera. Everyone is also wondering if Meredith and Mary know about what's going on with Jen and her situation right now. So Lisa decides to call Meredith, but Meredith could not be bothered at all with the conversation that Lisa and the other woman had to say about Jen's situation, because Lisa calls her and she's like, Meredith, you will not believe what just happened right now with Jen. Everything went bad. It went really, really, really bad. I mean, you will not believe what just happened. Jen got arrested. Meredith. What do you have to say? And speak loud, because the camera's right here and the producer wants to listen to this conversation. So speak very loudly.
I mean, do we really know Jen? I mean, I wouldn't put this situation past her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's, capable. But anyways, I'm very excited to have you ladies over at the house. It's so nice. So, the Jen situation, that's unfortunate, but I'm excited to be at the house.
Lisa's taken back by Meredith's reaction, because she's like, well, even if you don't like Jen, you would think that you have a little bit more compassion or some type of energy to the news. I mean, she didn't even say anything. And yeah, Meredith was kind of like a zombie. Meredith did not react at all. I mean, again, that's what makes it look suspicious that she's in cahoots with the police and Homeland Security, because her reaction was just very, very cold. And it just goes to show that she probably hasn't forgiven Jen with the whole Brooks situation. And Brooks is probably in his room like, yeah, I did that. Like, he's probably putting his phone away, or he's probably like breaking it to pieces so they don't track his phone down and connect him to all of this. And then Whitney, she's like, wait, I got an update right now. And then she looks at her phone, and then she reads out the judge has ruled a bunch of new regulations for Jen. And then apparently Jen has been released. At some point around 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock from 3 o'clock, Jen was arrested. And then we see the infamous shot of her coming out of out of the jail. And I'm like, wow, they really arrested her. Jen, look over here. Are you guilty? How do you feel right now? Is your fur jacket real? Do you think you'll be back on the show for next season? Or do you think that your snowflake has melted? Look over here, smile. And all the women continue questioning and trying to piece together Jen's puzzle by trying to figure out, where exactly did Jen put this money that she allegedly stole and scammed from the elderly people? And some of them suggested that maybe she put it in a nail salon business, in this type of business, in that type of business. But eventually they come to a conclusion that maybe she put the money in her merch store business, which I just found out today that she has a merch store and she used to sell a face mask that said Shaw Squad. So maybe that's where she put the money in. And I was with Lisa on when Lisa said, Whitney, you know a lot about cleaning up dirty money. I mean, are you trying to give us hints at what your storyline is going to be for season 3 if you stay on? I mean, are you also a scammer? Because she knows way too much. This is the type of energy that we wanted to see come from the cast of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills with Erica and her situation, because this cast specifically is questioning every single thing that Jen has done. They are trying to figure out what her motive was, how she did this, how she did that, and I wonder if they're going to be able to question Jen in person if they come face to face with her. I wonder if they're going to be able to grill her on the questions that they have, because I feel like none of the cast here is scared of Jen the way everybody was scared of Erica. So it should be interesting how that plays out. And then back at the house where they're supposed to be staying at, Mary is the first one to show up, and she shows up dressed in her Britney Spears Hit Me Baby One More Time music video inspired outfit, and she's walking around the house and she's like, Meredith, where are you? Eventually she finds Meredith in a bathtub. I am telling you, Meredith was just not bothered with Jen's mess at all. She was just like, oh, she's going to jail? Okay, I'm gonna go take a bubble bath with my rubber ducky, and that's that. And Mary, she comes in, she's so shook and so nervous, and she's like, Meredith, I cannot believe what just happened. I mean, I found out because of Robert Sr. He told me, Robert Sr., you know, the man I don't really love anymore. He told me, and, you know, money laundering, I mean, that just puts, you know, butterflies in my stomach, because I feel like they're about to find out that I'm probably doing the same thing at my church with my cult. I mean, with my church people. So I'm pretty shook. I mean, I know me and you, Meredith, we have our differences with Jen, but you know, what do you think? And Meredith, again, she was just in the bathtub like, I mean, honestly, the whole situation is it's a very sticky situation. And I mean, can she be innocent? Sure. Do I believe it? I don't think so. I think she could be, you know, guilty. Do I think Brooks is involved? Possibly. Do I think I had anything to do with it? Could be, but I'm not sure, Mary. I mean, you know, how much do we really know her? You know, I mean, what has she really done behind our backs? You know, I mean, it could be possible, but I guess we'll just have to, you know, figure out what exactly is going to come about this, you know, Mary. So in the meantime, I think that we should just relax, you know, and hold on, my leg. I need to scrub my leg a little bit better, but other than that, I don't think we should worry about anything. Just, you know, be on the lookout for, you know, Jen. The van is finally nearing the house that they're all supposed to be staying at. But right before that, Jenny also brings up the conversation of Mary and how she owes her apology, how, you know, she's okay with having a one-on-one conversation with her as long as she doesn't tell her what to do. And I'm like, Jenny, again, just like I said in my last review last week, you are delusional. Mary does not owe you any type of apology, and she was not telling you what to do. You jumped yourself into this conversation or this argument between Lisa and Mary that had nothing to do with you, and you told Mary to shut the fuck up. So what are you doing then? You're telling her exactly what to do. The same thing that you're accusing her of doing to you when she did it. She just told you not to use the F-bomb around her. That, again, you started with her. So Jenny, again, delusional. You need to stop. And then they finally get down to the house and they open the door and they're like, the feds are here. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, yikes, they're already making jokes about it. But, you know, they're all there. They all get settled in. They see Meredith still in the bathtub. They all go into their rooms. They all will go and pick out their rooms. And then they get on the phone with their husbands. But speaking of husbands, did you see Mary in her room? If they zoomed in on her phone, and she was talking to her granddaddy husband, but she labeled him in the phone as dad. And I'm like, what? Why do you have him labeled as dad? I mean, Again, Mary, this doesn't make it any better in your case with your situation with him or you in general. That was a very strange, but regardless, everybody, is getting their advice from their husbands. Lisa, she's over there talking to her husband, and then we see Dewey. He's on the phone with Jenny, and he's telling her how he still wants more kids, and how maybe that Jen is, she's in cahoots with a lot of bad things, and who knows what else she's doing. Eventually, the woman that presented Meredith the house earlier, the one that's trying to get a snowflake for next season, she introduces them to the chef, and they all eventually sit down to have a dinner. And, you could cut the tension with a knife because they're trying to see, okay, who's going to start the conversation about what went down today with Jen. And then Meredith, she starts the conversation and she's like, okay, so let's talk about it. What does everybody think? I also found it funny how Mary kept saying, oh, yeah, Jen is a bad person. I always knew she was a bad person. I can't believe she would do this to people and steal all their money. I'm like, Mary, I don't know. I mean, after we're done with this whole Jen situation, I'm pretty sure you're going to be the next big topic. So if I was you, I don't know, because you are just inches away from being exposed with the church and what actually goes on at your church, and you taking everybody's money. So if I was you, I would just lay off just a bit, because you and Jen might be on the same boat, but it's just her boat is sinking a little bit faster than yours. And then Meredith, she reveals to the group, apparently there's much more to what we see of Jen, that one of Jen's employee apparently stole a clutch purse from Meredith's store 6 months ago, and they have it on footage and everything. But breaking news a couple of hours ago, like 4 hours ago, I believe Jen's employee just posted on Instagram denying everything and saying that everything that Meredith accused him of on this show was a lie. And, he has some type of receipts, and he had just a huge paragraph of stuff on his Instagram. It's on Jen's Instagram if anybody wants to read it. Jen also reposted it, and Jen also was in the comments saying, no, what Meredith was saying on the show, this specific episode is a bunch of BS and it's a bunch of lies. But again, we don't know who's telling the truth because there's footage, but apparently, if you look at the clutch, it's not green or something like that. I'm not sure. So I don't know whose story is true. Meredith could just be trying to paint Jen out to be a bad person, or even more bad person on top of the crimes that she already did. But then again, the guy, he probably did actually steal something from Meredith, but we don't know. So then Heather, she jumps into the mix and she's like, oh yeah, I also have a story to tell from Jen. So, it became storytelling night. And she reveals to us that she put Jen in an Uber one night when they were hanging out. And then that half a mile later, she got out of the highway. And I'm like, what was Jen doing? And, the way they were describing it is as if she was doing something scandalous. And then Lisa also jumps in and she's like, I have something to reveal too. I have something to reveal too, and it's a pretty scary story. And it just sounded like they were reading a Goosebumps book, the way they were describing this. And they also said that Jen was red flag at Louis Vuitton, and I'm like, what does that mean? Apparently, if you spend too much cash, like actual cash, like paper cash, at the store, you get red flag, and it's a little suspicious because they're probably like, how are you coming in here with all that money to buy stuff and buy products? And Lisa, of course, she's like, getting arrested is much less worse than getting red flag at Louis Vuitton. I'm like, okay, Lisa, okay. But going back to what Lisa had to reveal, Lisa, she kind of hinted at that Jen, she might be having an affair with somebody. And I'm like, damn, now we have an affair? All we need is a murder. At this point, because we have crimes, we have stealing, we have affairs. This is a whole soap opera. And of course, Jenny, she's upset in her confessional. She's like, if you have something to fucking say, just fucking say it. And I'm like, Jenny, calm down. Like, it's not that serious. We'll get to it eventually. But again, Lisa reveals to us that, yeah, maybe Jen is cheating on her husband and she's having some type of affair. But I'm like, damn, all of this is coming at Jen at once. And I'm pretty sure that they're going to have to confront Jen about all of these allegations in person if she makes it on the trip, which I'm assuming she does. So we shall see how that goes. But that was the episode, y'all. It was a very interesting ride. But a very, very good ride at that. And that was the episode, y'all. That was that. What did y'all think about this episode overall? I mean, it's only going to be even more dramatic moving forward from here on out, because I know that the women are just going to continue confessing more and more about Jen. And again, if Jen enters the picture and she comes back into the group, it's only going to be hell to pay once she finds out what they're talking about. But hopefully the women could, stand one-on-one with her and aren't afraid, like the Beverly Hills cast, because that was just... Ugh. But again, let me know your opinions on the episode. What did y'all think of it? What did y'all think of it in as a whole? And, you know, what do y'all think about this whole scandal of her possibly cheating and stuff? I mean, yikes. I wonder what Sharif has to say about that. But again, let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Bye, y'all. Mwah.